Hello! Thank you for tuning in to this week's read. For this week's read, I'm using the Thelema Tarot. Thelema Tarot by Renata Lechner. Where is that? There's that. Hopefully you can see it. The website is at the bottom here. I think it's Los Garribo. Feel free to freeze frame on that if you want that information. Supportive Oracle cards. Magical Spell cards by Lucy Cavendish. Illustrated by Jesse Reish. And then there's the website at the bottom. I want to say this one's a Hay House one. I don't remember. Is it Hay House? Yep, hayhouse.com. There at the bottom if you're interested. Hopefully that's focusing. Now that I think of it. And for the dice I'm using, the dice shop, and you go to, I think it's Math Art Fun. Hopefully you can see that too. mathartfun.com. I use a 22-sided dice for the major arcana. I substitute 22 for 0 for the Fool. I use a 14-sided dice for the minor arcana, and then I use a 4-sided dice to choose the element that matches up with the minor arcana. Anything else? No. Alright, so if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for tuning in, and let's get on to your reading. Hello, Capricorn. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Capricorn? I got like a really zippy energy going on here, so I'm like, what is going on for Capricorn? So this is already starting out interesting. There's a block here. There's some heartbreak here. It may not be bothering you. It may be like, well, you know, it's kind of like play stupid games, win stupid prizes. It might be one of those things. It's kind of like, well, they want to play stupid games. They got the appropriate prize for that. What's all these people around this situation? There's a few different people around this situation. We got a lot of cards out. Didn't this happen for Virgo? I feel like we put out a lot of cards for Virgo. Somebody wants to be in your good graces. Doesn't mean they will, but they want to be. Let's see what happens as we keep going. The first thing I noticed is somebody's trying to skip out on responsibilities, in trying to look busy doing it. Keep that in mind. So that seems to be happening. Somebody's trying to skip out on responsibilities yet look busy doing it. I wouldn't say Capricorn would tolerate that, but we'll see as we keep going forward. Depends how it affects your overall situation, I know. You've been keeping things where they needed to be. You've done that for quite a while. Whatever the situation is, you've kept a cap on it. Like, this is where that goes, this is where that stays. That stays there, this stays here, that's how that goes. We're not mixing things. It reminds me of somebody who has, like, you know, when they serve their own plate, but everything is like, nothing is touching, which is fine for people who need to do that. That's their business. But this is like one of those things where it reminds me of having one of those plates where, like, there's literally, like, there's a pocket on the plate where, like, this goes in here and there's a border keeping it from going outside of where it's supposed to go. Everything is staying where it's supposed to stay. And it's kind of like, yeah, whatever this is, it's kind of like, yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. So, no problem. No problem. That's how it's supposed to be. Okay, fine. People are trying to change things. Whatever they're doing, trying to change things, they're trying to mix things together a little bit. You move really quickly to make sure that doesn't happen, is what I'm getting. Can we get, like, some dice on that? The major arcana is going, okay, so you got the Four of Pentacles reversed, and you've got the Moon card half in, half out. So obviously you know what you're doing. Other people don't understand what just happened. Because when the Ace of Wands comes in, I get the Four of Pentacles reversed. Like, you're stepping outside your bounds to keep things from being mixed, to keep things from crossing over, to keep things from messing up. This is not a move people are expecting from you. They feel like they know you. They feel like they know what you will and won't do. They don't understand that to keep things where they're supposed to be, you will make a quick decision that they just don't think you would do. They might not even think you're capable of doing it. Well, they're wrong. To keep things where they're supposed to be, to keep things from failing, because Capricorn does not show up to fail. Capricorn does not give up easily either. And if you see a moment where you're like, uh-oh, that's going to be a problem, all right. So it's almost like Capricorn, in my opinion, Capricorn, when they're very dedicated to their work and very loyal to their work, they don't call in. They just kind of always show up and they always get it done, especially when they feel like their part is important. They always do what they no matter how they feel, they just seem to always show up because they're dedicated to getting things done. That's the energy I'm used to. This is one of those things where maybe you're taking a vacation day and people just don't think you do that. But you'll do that so you can get ahead of the situation, go over, take care of it before things fall apart, make sure it stays where it's supposed to stay, and then you'll come back and you'll keep doing your job. The reason you'll do that is to make sure things don't go out of balance. You're like, no, I don't like doing that. That's not my forte to do that. But if this is the price I have to pay to make sure that stays where that's supposed to stay and things don't get screwed up, then so be it. Then so be it, and I will do it. I hope I'm making sense with that, because it's kind of like people don't think you'll jump the line. But you're like, no, if I need to, if it keeps things where they're supposed to be, yeah, I will do that. And I feel like people are baffled. Like, how did that just happen? They're even wondering, like, if somebody else did it for you or something. Things are staying where you want them to stay, and you're getting the outcome you want. People are confused. In one sense or another, they're definitely confused. There's a couple people here who are just, like, leaving the situation over it. What's that about? I got 2 people leaving. So it's a general read. At least one person's leaving, but I keep getting 2. So for most of you, it's 2. One person's kind of like, I feel like you spoiled their plans. They thought they had this under control. They thought they could have control of this situation. They thought they could get what they wanted. You shut them down. They're out. They're gone. Right out. They're not even... I feel like they won't even deal with you anymore after this. So that might be a surprise. Keep an eye out for it, because I'm getting there's nothing I can do here. I can't get what I want out of the situation. Capricorn pulled a move that I didn't think they were able to do, and they've shut me down. I'm going to leave. I'm out. I don't think there's even a conversation. I think they're gone. There's another one here who I feel like they were planning for this to go a different direction. They thought they had this all tied up in a bow. It failed. It didn't work out the way they thought. You did something that I feel like this is somebody who thinks they know you very well too. They didn't think you would do that. For some reason, they didn't think you could. And this other one is also kind of like, they're kind of just like fading out. No, I feel like they're going, but it's just like they're very quietly disappearing. Because I feel like one of 2 things. It's either they feel like you know what they had, you know the hand they had, the hand they played to make this happen, and they're like, I have to get away from Capricorn before Capricorn makes me pay for my misgivings, why not? Or they're like, you may not know now, but you'll certainly figure it out down the line, and before you do figure it out, I feel like it's better for me just to disappear from this situation quietly and without any incident. So you got 2 people like going. There's another one here. Did they know? There's a lot of people a part of this situation. Did they know? I don't know what they knew. I really don't. I feel like they're not upset that you did what you did. There's another one here that seems to be very, very happy that you did what you did. They didn't seem like I feel like this is somebody who didn't think they had the power to do anything. They didn't know what to do with it, but the fact that you stepped forward and stopped it, I feel like they're very happy about that. And I feel like this is somebody who has a renewed faith in you. Kind of like, that's right. People don't understand that Capricorn can make things happen. You may not expect it, but Capricorn can make things happen. They're very, very, very happy and thankful that this turned out the way it did. The fact that you were able to do what you did. I feel like this is another one who didn't think you would be able to stop it, but is very pleased and happy that you were able to. The situation overall, you blocked the heartache. At least for you. At least for you. Not everybody's happy that you did what you did, but I feel like there's enough people. I feel like you did. Overall, I feel like it's for the best for the situation. How's that? Overall, it's the best for the situation. And you're also bringing forth an energy that has to be dealt with. This is the Three of Swords, but I keep getting, like with the healing card here, the fact that you blocked this situation, people who are upset about it, that's going to be a good thing. Because I feel like this is going to highlight something that needs to be highlighted. I don't feel like the majority of them are going to be upset, but there's going to be enough who are. By blocking this, you're not allowing the situation to change. There are certain people who are upset about that, but this is what's bringing forth the healing here. It's ironic because I do feel like you're blocking the heartache. I feel like these two go together. This is like a block card. You're keeping this from going into devastation. You're stopping it from happening, which is allowing healing. I don't know who was playing what game here, but it does feel like whatever was going on, I just don't feel like that was a good thing. I think you stopped something that it's better that you stopped it. Not everybody will agree with that, but the way this energy is feeling, the way I'm picking up on it, it's really a good thing for the majority of people. There's going to be other long-term disappointment here to where people are nervous around you because they don't understand what you do and don't know. They also don't know what to expect from you next. That one random move, which may not be as random to you as it is to other people, that they don't know what to think anymore. And I feel like it makes people very uncomfortable, kind of like I don't know what to expect from Capricorn, which is fine. That's fine. You don't want to validate anything to these people. If they're that nervous because they don't know what to expect from you, let them be nervous. Let that go to your advantage because it will. Like if they don't get it, they don't need to get it. That's fine. Going forward, there's people trying to understand you and trying to they're trying to almost dissect a situation to understand why this even happened. It's weird. Let that stay a mystery. People are trying to understand why things played out the way they did, but they're also trying to understand why you made that choice. I keep getting don't explain it. Don't explain yourself to these people. But pay attention to who's trying to figure it out. Don't explain yourself, but try to pay attention. Don't have this all right, it was a moment, I fixed it, I'm keeping my eye on the situation. Don't just keep your eye on the situation. Keep your eye on the people around it. Keep your eye on the people trying to figure out the situation of why you did what you did and why other people did what they did. Keep your eye on that. Own that part where people I feel like somebody's going to say, well, you're a lot more random than I thought you were, Capricorn. It's not a typical energy for Capricorn. And I feel like to you it's well, maybe not as much because this triggered me. I just wasn't going to let that fail. So I did what I had to do in the moment because failure was not an option. There's a reason, there's a thought process behind this. Don't explain that. If they want to think that you're random, let them think that you're random. It'll work to your advantage. Let them think that you're more of a wild card than you actually are because there's reasons you're doing things. Don't validate it to other people. Don't explain it to them well, this is happening and that's why I did. Don't explain it. Let them think you're random. It'll go to your advantage. It keeps them on their toes. It makes them, kind of think about it before they mess with Capricorn. I'm just saying. Not that they're definitely looking to mess with you, but they consider you a little bit more than maybe they normally would. Let them think you're random. Let them think it. Let them think it. You do seem to get a lot of support from that because I feel like people are that worked out good. Apparently Capricorn can do that. So it's good to know that Capricorn can do that if we need Capricorn to help us. Just let them think what they want to think. Don't validate your choices to them. In fact, I'm looking at this, but I don't think this is going to be hard for you. You don't have to like put effort into letting them think that. Just shut down in the sense of like, I got other things to do. I don't have time to talk with you about this. Like, I did what I had to do. And then you could play I don't really remember the whole thing, even though you probably do. You could be like, right now, I got other things on my mind. I don't remember all the details. And just keep pushing them off that way. You probably do remember all the details, but they don't have to know that. Keep them away from you. Don't let them get into your thought process. Just let them wonder. Let them wonder. Sooner or later, they will kind of leave you alone about that. But you're going to also take up space in their brain. It's actually a good thing in this situation. Let them take up space. Let you take space in their brain. Don't take that as a negative thing, because I feel like they're kind of like, before I do that, I wonder if Capricorn will get in my way over that. And I feel like it's kind of like, I can't really be sure if they will or won't. They don't know. Capricorn's not really a random energy, but if they think you are, just let it go to your advantage. I know I've said it a lot, but it's like, it's really important is what I'm getting. Continuing on this trip, I don't want to keep using that going forward thing. It's a trigger for me. Like, I don't like that term. But yeah, I still use it. Continuing on the journey here, people are going to be wondering if they can get you to do random things. And people are going to fail at getting you to do random things. You're a person that keeps things stable. Keep the air of mystery around you. Even if they annoy you because they try to get you to do random things, try to keep that more on the DL. If it's a work thing, don't talk about it at work when people are annoying you. Talk about it with people who are not connected. Vice versa, if it's family people, don't talk about it with other family people or people who are connected to your family. Talk about it to people who are definitely not. I keep getting people trying to get you to do random things. You're not going to. It's not really a normal thing for Capricorn to do random things. At least the normal energy of Capricorn that I'm aware of. But let people wonder. Because I feel like people are more respectful, and people are kind of like, people seem to wait and watch and see what you're going to do, and they seem to kind of follow your lead a lot better when they're kind of like, they don't know what you're going to do next. They feel like there's a random part of you, and they're just like, I don't know what triggered it, but I know that Capricorn can do that, so I don't want to trigger it again. And people seem to like back off, and people seem to like stand back and kind of like mind their P's and Q's a little bit better around you. So let this energy work to your benefit. I think that's overall what this is about. Letting this moment, not over-explaining it, and using that to your advantage. They seem to think you're random. You're really not really. But as long as they don't understand why you make the decisions you've made, they seem to like kind of like mind the border a little bit better. They kind of like, they watch that boundary like, you know what, I wouldn't think Capricorn would normally do that, but they've proven me wrong in the past. I better watch my P's and Q's and not push my luck with Capricorn. Let it go to your advantage. All right, I think we're there. I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.